peeping out from under the paper is a Maxcom 7E emergency set, and this has come from our mystery benefactor who keeps sending CBs as gifts, which are greatly appreciated, and we know he is in North Lincolnshire, so thank you once again for this lovely Maxcom 7E, which comes with a battery case and dummy batteries. And you know what, that hardly looks like it's had any use. Now there are some aerials in the kit, not the factory original aerial, and we'll come to, oh, there's the hanger clip. We'll take it out of its nappy and put the hanger on one side as well. He's made up a power lead for us, which gets even better. Put the glasses on. I think this is, could this be box 31? So it's got a 2 amp fuse in there, which is fine. So we'll test this as presented. I think the adapter is still on the other one, which we haven't field tested yet. So pause the video. Right, so we are plugged in through the Motorola stroke RCA adapter there. Switch picture in picture on. It's in the wrong position, I think. How about there? I can't see the mixer from here. Oh, that'll do. Right, switch the radio on. Put it to channel 20. Press transmit. And the power supply is not on. Power supply is at 12.4 volts. It's a 12 volt radio. And the radio is doing 2.5 watts. And the deviation, wallow. It's too low. And the frequency, camera on that for you. Oh, it's spot on. I'm not going to alter it from 29123 when it should be 121, what, 79125. No, that's great. We can't check the receive because there's no extension speaker socket or earphone socket. But what we can do is just listen. And that is 3 microvolts. That's 1 microvolt. It's just resolving 0.3 of a microvolt. We have to appreciate these are quite a simple receiver. Although they're still a double conversion superhet, they are nevertheless quite a simple one. Because they're an emergency set, they're not base stations. So it's June 1987, which is a very late version. Does SW mean it's custom done for Shaman's wholesale? I remember there being importers for these. So we'll open it up. And we did and we still haven't done the field test. We did the Midland, is it 77, 76, 810? Still need to do the field test on that. So you need to pull the knobs off. Oh, this is fun. So, the way to do this is with a piece of string. Have I got a piece of string? No, of course I haven't got a piece of string. I could find one in the organ workshop, no doubt. We could wrap some wire around this if we could find some wire. Here's some wire I pulled out of that base station the other day. We can get that under that skirt. If we can get it under that skirt. What I don't want to do is lever the knob off. I think we'll switch this off. Gripped that one with my t-shirt and managed to pull it off. I'm not going to go into the other workshop and get a piece of string. What we'll do is I'll lever it, but to stop it marring the finish, we will put this card under. There we go. So we've not got any marks on that. But you do have to be very careful. I'd like to have shown you a better technique, and it has taken the paint off there. So if that was somebody's set, they could be cross about it. I mean, look at the size of the speaker in that. You know, it's same as you got in a mobile at that time. These days they're half an inch smaller than that. It's in like new condition, this. Anyway, let's get that cyanide reading. So I touched my jack onto the speaker, go over to the cyanide meter, helps if we switch it on, and let's get 12 dB, and that's our answer. It's exactly 1 microvolt for 12 dB cyanide. So considering what it is, that's absolutely brilliant. Right, tune up, no capacitors which are dodgy. If we needed to set the frequency, it isn't that one, that's going to be VCO. You know what, on the other hand, it is that one. I'm going to adjust it just for the video. Not because it needs adjusting, because it doesn't. I've got it in. I was monitoring the receiver, the signal generator, not of the radio in question. There we are, 79126 toggling 7. done that. I think it's just a coil of the VCA, but I'm not going to fiddle with that because we've not got any specific instructions. The transmit lineup is straight down there. So here goes. So 2.7 watts. That's peak. No alteration there. Microfraction there. Now everything's spot on. Just wait for the soldering iron to warm up a little bit. And while that's happening, we'll do the deviation. So with 2 presets, that's going to be squelch, that's going to be deviation. So let's get our little chord chromatic tuner out we use as an oscillator. See where that is. Wow, that's spot on. 2.2, 2.5. That's where we want it. Right, soldering iron should have warmed up sufficient to melt the wax in that coil there. By the time I found the right trimmer tool, that will have cooled down again. About 3.1 watts there, just make sure that's peak. There we go. Out of interest, I'll see what the power this does on 13.8 volts, but I'm not sure it's the 13.8 volt set. So we'll just switch the power to a different level. There we are, 13.8 volts. It's 3.6 watts. I'll tell you what, we'll tune it up at that voltage. That's 3.6. I'm sure if I put this on a cheaper meter it would be well beyond 4. So that's transmit covered. Let's see what receive's up to. So borrowing yet another of Mr. Chippy's crocodile clip leads, put that one end of that on the speaker and the other of that end of that on our test equipment speaker input. So we're going to go to the oscilloscope first. We are. Take the bench light off, put an S9 signal here, 100 microvolts on. We need to adjust the detector for maximum recovered audio. So we've got a decent trace there on the oscilloscope. I can't remember which one it is, but we'll soon find out. It's not that one. It's that one. And now we'll go through the front end. So dropping the signal, so we've got about 4 dB. Wow, that's come up considerably. It's Mr. Twiddle in it. Let's check the IF. Check these front end ones. There we go. So we'll read off now what the cyanide is. It's now 0.7 microvolts, which is great. Just going to go back to transmit a moment. There's another coil here. Just see whether that affects it. Oh yeah. So it was easily able to attain that at 13.8 volts. I'll drop that down to 12.4. So we're getting 3.5 watts at 12 point something volts, 12.4 volts. So I'm going to leave it at that. And that's how we're going to test it. So you've got no meters or anything to align, we've just got the squelch to look at. So back to, there we go, let's see whether we can squelch out S9. So that's 1 microvolt, 3 microvolts, 10 microvolts, 30 microvolts, 100 microvolts. So I want it to open up at that. When does it open? It opens as it is at 1 millivolt, which is pretty dire. One better sensitivity than that, especially on an emergency set. So the other preset, adjust it till that opens just. There we go. Let's go over to this attenuator so you can see what I'm doing. So 10 microvolts, 30 microvolts, 100 microvolts it opens. That's your S9 equivalent. So now we're going to park the signal generator, put it to standby, 0.3 of a microvolt, turn the squelch down on the radio, set the squelch threshold, switch the signal generator back on, see when it comes in. So the radio is coming in at 0.45 of a microvolt. It's leaving it 0.29 of a microvolts. We've already ascertained that the sensitivity is 0.7 of a microvolt for a 12 decibel cyanide. But let's see what we can hear it down to. So that's 1 microvolt. It's 0.3. It's about 0.29 we can hear it down to. So that's it, that's all there is to it. So we'll put it back together. The TX light works as well. I just love emergency sets. I like the Midland, though this is more versatile. I don't know, just like that Midland one. And I like the realistic. Mind you, $149.99. It was quite an expensive set at the time. So as you know and can see, we're plugged into the extension antenna socket, but if you've got the supplied telescopic, you can put it on top of the unit where this red stopper is. If I can even get that off. I don't know what that is. Anyway, just out of interest, we'll see what it is on low power. Let's put these knobs back on. Right, switch on. So we know on full power it's banging across and it's shaded away from 4 watts at 3.5. And on low power, go to the scale, not adjustable, 170 milliwatts, just for the interest. Drawing 230 milliamps on that, and on full power it's drawing 850 milliamps. So it's nice and efficient on power. So that's it, we're done. Nice and quick. I doubt we'll be field testing this because we've already done it to this type of model, but I'm just going to discuss the aerial supplied shortly with you. We'll just get this done, finished. So we're on the aerial now. 19 Roger. No change there. Roger. Nope, nobody out there. So that's no change. It's amazing, I nearly fell off my chair when I got that Roger the other day. I'm going to pause the video, and this has come with some aerials in the kit, but not the original supplied one. So just want to have a play with those. Right, now comes part 2 of the video. In the cardboard box, take picture in picture, I don't need to see that. The Maxcom 70, that's the Maxcom on it, mag mount with an adapter in it. Is this adapter now dropped? Is this adapter, is that 3/8? I reckon it is. So I think that makes that take an ordinary CB aerial. Alright, then it's got here, looks like the loading coil. I'd expect that to be the length for VHF low band. That's why I brought the aerial analyzer. Then also in the bag are some adapters. They look like Motorola walkie-talkie adapters. Hey, they may be the same thread as what these are supposed to be. My dilemma is, do I have a... Oh, also in here is a useful Bremy aerial matcher, so thank you for that. Especially when setting up antenna warning indicators on Maxcom 30Es and the likes. I'm going to have a rummage in my adapters department to just see whether I've got anything which will take this. So I've got a BNC on the aerial. I thought it was TNC, it's BNC of course. So we can put this into our MFJ analyzer. See if it's 27 megs. Well, presumably he thinks it is, and it. Now let's have a look. So having put 10 new double A's in the MFJ analyzer, okay, so in view of the MFJ analyzer not working, it wasn't just batteries, another nightmare. Oops. That was interesting, wasn't it? No match. So, the best SWR in free air is actually around UK channel 20 on this into the SARC 100 analyzer, which I'm having to use as a compromise. So it looks like it's 27 MHz. I'm just going to do a band scan. I'll just have to I'll probably have to edit this bit out because you're not going to be able to see it. I'm going to have to do it in free air. Yeah, well, it doesn't think it's that good. But I don't think we're going to proceed with that until we've got the MFJ analyzer working or replaced or whatever we're going to do. So we'll call it an end to that. I will put this one back on the air. So we'll switch this off and we'll play at aerials another time when I've got test equipment I can trust. So to wrap up this video, we'll have another flick round. Now it's a bit of a different time. And we've got the music player. Who's still there? So we're doing on the air test with this later on, and there will be so we'll discuss aerials with this in the future. So thanks for watching the Maxcom 7E, and thanks to the person who's kindly sent me this because it really is appreciated.